Hello and welcome everyone. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Kali Linux in VirtualBox in the simplest way possible. So let's get into it. The first thing, and I'm going to leave all of the links down below so it makes it very simple for you. The first thing we want to do is essentially install Kali Linux, right? So these are the ISOs on kali.org. And these are the virtual machines. So these are essentially pre-made for virtual machines, and we want to use the VirtualBox specifically, right? So this is automatically gonna install the newest version. So you can just click there and download it, and then it will be ready. Now, if you want the older version, we can go to all.kali.org, right? And you can specify the version you want right here. Now, I would just recommend getting the latest one, but I just wanted to show this as well. So let's say that we wanted this version right here. Then we can just look up VirtualBox. And then we will want this version right here, VirtualBox MB64 7-zip. So we can just download that as well. And now it will start downloading. Now, if you don't have VirtualBox, you can go to virtualbox.org, and then you can install it for the platform that you need. I'm going to show it on Windows today. And for 7-zip as well, you can just go to this link right here, and then you can install right here. So just install them and set these up. You literally just hit max until it's done. And there we go. We can see that Kali has now successfully installed. So we can pretty much just go and check it out. So we can extract the file right there. I have opened up VirtualBox. You can ignore all of these machines. These are just chains for Active Directory that I help people pass the OSCP with, right? If you're interested, that's also in the description. But we can now just open this, and we can pretty much double click on the VirtualBox file. And this is automatically going to open it inside of VirtualBox just like this, and it's already integrated, right? So that is beautiful. If you want to, I would suggest you essentially take a snapshot. So we could just call it snapshot 1 before anything, right? So now we have a snapshot. So should anything go wrong with this instance, right? Then we could just revert to the first snapshot. And I would also suggest that you make a new snapshot after you're done apt update, apt upgrade, and after you've installed your preferred toolings and maybe your extensions in a browser and all of this. So yeah, something to keep in mind as well, if you've never done this process before, is that if we go up here, we can see that it specifies that these images have the default credentials Kali. So if you absolutely never used a Kali instance before, that is very important to keep in mind. So we can now do Kali. And we can also see that it did not fully adapt to a screen size. I just hit the right Control-C, Enter twice to readjust. So yeah. Now we have Kali, and from here it's really just whatever you prefer into. So I really hope that was helpful. Now we have a snapshot to revert to. I wanted to show you a few things that I do with my Kali. And I want to show you a few tech tips to make things a bit more convenient, right? So one of the first things that I personally like to do is that I like to open up a root terminal, right? In terms of security, just don't expose anything you shouldn't to the internet. And don't be on a risky network and use default credentials, right? But in terms of just lab access and making it convenient, I like running as root sometimes because it just makes running simple stuff like this faster, right? But there are some things that I want to change personally. So I like changing the color scheme to Linux. And just like that, it changed. And I also want to make the font a bit bigger, right? So it's easier to see. We can put it to 20th instance. We can apply that. And we can see that it's already so much easier to see it, right? Another thing as well that I personally like to do is that I like having a border right there, and then I don't want any transparency, so it's more clear. So we can see now that it draws a border. If I do Ctrl-Shift-D and I split it, it messes up the first time. I just hit Ctrl-D again. If I split it again, we can see that now I can jump back and forth with terminals, right? I can close it, I can create a new tab, I can split it like this. I can split it like this, and yeah. You just do Ctrl-Shift-R to split it sideways. You hit Ctrl-D, for instance, to close the last one. You hit Ctrl-Shift-D to create it under. And then you can do Ctrl-Shift-T to create a new terminal right there. You can also use Alt keys. So if I hit Alt-2, it jumps to 3. Alt-3 jumps to 3, right? You can also do Ctrl-Tab to jump between the two recent. These are just some general things for convenience, right? So like, if you want to host a web server very quick to transfer some files, then you can do that. And then you want to transfer it on the Linux or on the Windows host or the Linux host that you have access to, but you forgot your IP. Then you can just very quick check your IP, copy it, close down the tab, go back, etc. You get the point. Now, there are some general convenience settings as well. Before you do anything in your Kali, I would generally recommend that you run apt upgrade and, apt update. And then app upgrade, and then yes, Nexel. This is going to take a long while till it gets done, but I would recommend doing that at the start. And then after you've completed that, I would also recommend you close the Kali after you've done it. And then you take a new snapshot, right? I've taken a snapshot before I did absolutely anything on this host, because it's just convenient. Now there are some other settings as well that I like to change. If you go to Power Manager right here, we can go to System. We can see that it never suspends. Display. I don't personally like my display going off. So we can do Display Power Management off never, so it doesn't sleep every 10 minutes. Can be a bit annoying. And then we can also go to Screensaver Management right here. And then also activate Screensaver when idle. We can put this to 0, and then we can turn this off, and we can turn this off. Okay? Now, this is just going to make it convenient so that it won't constantly log out when you're being a bit idle, right? These are some things. There are, of course, other very important tools you're going to be using with, some basic tools you're going to be using with Pentesting. So let's see if we have in-packet tools, so that's great. Another thing I want to install is the SEC list. This is just an incredibly useful word list, essentially, but I have to do apt update first, right? While this one is updating, there are many browser extensions as well. I will link the video down below where I go more into the browser extensions, because those can be quite convenient. And then let's make a new terminal. And while that is going on, we can also, one of the first basic things as well, we're going to be doing is to unzip this one, right? So you can essentially do gzip, decompressed, like so. And we can see that this file now no longer exists, and that we have Rocky, right? But yeah, in terms of the first things you want to do, and if I now do apt install checklist, this will now work. These are just very useful word lists for potentially cracking hashes and stuff like this. And yeah, if you're brand new to hacking, I would recommend you go and check out tryhackme.com. Because they have some beginner paths, right? So we can go to learning path right there. And then if you're just starting out, I would recommend you are starting with pre-security. If you are interested in ethical hacking, I would recommend going from pre-security and then checking out Web Fundamentals and then CompTIA PenTest Plus. And then from there, you can essentially do the junior penetration testing And then from there, you can get into a course, right? So if your goal is to crush the OSCP and eventually get a job within ethical hacking and really develop your skills, you can try that out for free as well, of course. The link is also down below. And we also have a free active directory chain as well if you want to try. But these are for OSCP related things. I really just wanted to make this video to give you a simple gateway to just set up the basics in terms of Kali Linux. Now, when you're installing tools, right, maybe you're installing stuff like web shells, etc. It can also be convenient to have a place to put all of these tools. So let's just say that, let's just make a file. So let's see, we can create a directory and opt tools, and then let's see web shells or something like that. So this is recursively gonna create this path, even though I don't have the tools yet. So if I do ls, we can see that I have that. So let's see that I make a file called this, right? Okay. This was just me forgetting Linux basics. So web shell PHP. Like so. And then you can have a bunch of all your favorite web shells, etc. You can have that under there. And really the same thing for like Prevesk tools. You can do the same thing for pivoting and tunneling and stuff like this. It really is down to your preference. But in Prevesk, you would obviously want tools like Limpeast and Wimpeast, etc. All of these amazing tools. So you can go to the release page right here. And then from here, we can really just install it like Prevesk Lixel. Doubly get it. And now we have this, right? So yeah, but obviously this doesn't make sense in this context. I just want to show you some basics, right? So in terms of a general structure, this might be something that you like. And if you're completely new and you don't have any structure yet, maybe you like my terminal settings in terms of splitting it like this when you need to. It's very convenient, but yeah. I hope this was helpful. And one more thing that's important. If you want to essentially copy text, you can now copy in, right? If you use the technique that I use, but sometimes this can be bugged. Sometimes in terms of dragging files as well, this can also be bugged. So I'm gonna now try to drag on from my Windows host onto the desktop. And you can see that now it doesn't really work, right? We can essentially go to drag and drop, and you can see that it's bidirectional. You can try essentially inserting and upgrading BGS editions as well, again, but it's not always reliable either. But let's say you want to copy something over, you want to drag a file, and you're struggling to do so. One technique that is always reliable is that you can go to the VirtualBox right here. You can go to settings. And then you can go to shared folders right here, and you can make a shared folder, right? So I'm gonna essentially go to and let's see what I called it. I call it video. And then we can do automount. And then let's do that. So hit OK. So if you go back to our Kali Linux, what am I doing? Do like so. We can go to media, so CD, media right here. And then we can actually go to the SF video right here. And then now we can suddenly see this file called greetings.txt. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. It's very simple to set up. And if you're ever struggling to copy something or to copy a file, etc. over, you can pretty much just do it in that way, and that is going to work. So yeah, once again, if you want to check out the extensions that I like and some more setup things related to Kali Linux, if this interests you, go check out the video I have linked on the screen right now. And I hope this helps, and have an awesome day, everyone. And if you find this video useful, then you're absolutely going to love this. We have a massive, free-to-try, 25-hour plus OSCP course that you can see that people are just absolutely loving. That inside gives you all of the resources that you need to crush the OSCP. We have a massive roadmap that literally covers everything. We cover initial access, privilege escalation, Windows and Linux. We cover Active Directory. We cover post-exploitation. We cover lateral movement. We cover pivoting, tunneling. We cover the exam. We cover the reporting. We cover all of the attacks that you need and all of the techniques that you need for OSCP. We also cover all the rooms that you need to do, and all of the rooms is linked inside. We cover Active Directory chains as well, and we literally cover everything. And you will instantly get all of these resources once you join. So click the link down below, try it completely for free. I'll see you inside.